daughters get brutally honest with their moms.
You have invaded my privacy. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and turn around.
Mother saying no.
All said yes.
Taya, so you felt like your mother has invaded your privacy.
Well, I know for sure that there's some Snapchat pictures and memories that you've seen behind my back.
I put spyware on all my children's phones. I sure
spyware.
did. I sure did. You know that software that they're like, do you think your boyfriend's cheating on you? Yeah, I put it on all the phones. I put it on all the internet connections in my home. All the every single text, every single picture, every single call, every single email.
You got that much time.
Daughters, would you be okay with your mom looking at your emails and texts and snaps?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I really don't like that feeling in my body. It's making me feel like my tummy is feeling weird. It's just, I don't know. Like location, I'll take that. Just like for safety, for sure. Text and stuff like that, I don't know. I just gotta feel safe somewhere. Even when I'm writing in my journal.
Nobody should be reading that.
That is actually diabolical.
That's insane behavior from the mother there.
At that point, it's not even about, well, I'm just trying to make sure they're safe. No, it's weirdly controlling.
Controlling. And just imagine in your free time, just want to scroll and be like, this is the boyfriend she's been talking to. What is she saying to the boyfriend? Hey, you been reading their little messages. Privacy is a thing. Like, yeah, let's say they're just flirting but going crazy. They're just texting. And they're still right from wrong. The daughter is not a little kid. I get maybe if she was 7 with the phone or something.
Yeah, if she's like a kid or something, she didn't have a phone anyway.
Based off how you've already raised your child, you should have a little bit of trust in them. Like, yeah, pretty much taught them some morals, some standards, things to do, not do, do's and don'ts. I should feel comfortable enough that they're making their own best practice decision.
And also, sometimes you gotta let your kids fuck up to then learn what not to do. And you're a helicopter parent.
Let's say you expose them for just some fuck up that you read. Now they're just gonna like, what are you doing to your child now?
Then they'll resent you too.
Yeah. Exactly. And then when they're older and they are financially free or they just move in with somebody, they don't speak to you for the rest of your life. And now what did you just create with your child?
Like, I kept them safe, but I also ruined our relationship.
Well, because it's also just the trauma, even teenage childhood, like that stuff will stick with them forever.
Yes.
That's why Gypsy killed her mom for doing some controlling shit. Yeah.
Oh, I heard about that shit.
Medicine stuff. For her to admit it right here on Jubilee.
Proud like that,
dude. I put spyware on all my kids.
Well, the question was asked when she was younger. Would you ever read my diary if you ever found it? Absolutely not. I, as a parent, I feel it's my responsibility to give them that space. I want them safe.
There we go.
Absolutely. Remember that time you were talking to somebody on...
Yeah.
What happened?
When I was like 6, I was on MSN Messenger, messaging some friends, and a random person started messaging me. And we started getting along, and they said something like, okay, well, I'll pick you up. I have a green car. We can go get some ice cream or something.
That's illegal.
And, my mom has taught me so much about stranger danger. And also, by this point, I knew better. But I went upstairs to go get change, and my whole family was waiting for me. My brother had changed his name on MSN to, like, lure me into that situation to see how I'd react. And I was like, I was just coming up to put my socks on to go play with the dogs. I wasn't going. And
why do you have a thing at 6 years old? Who gave you a device to speak to people when you're 6?
6 is actually crazy. Because my goddaughter is about to be 6. I can't even imagine her chatting with someone online.
What you talk? Like, what's there to talk about? Coastal Melon?
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Well, she used to take my phone when I was in middle school and go through it. So
how often?
And in high school.
How often?
Very often. In my iPod Touch, so I had to text people from my iPod Touch and then delete them when I'd be talking to my wife. And I would literally say, "Oh, sorry, my mom's about to take. I'm about to look."
Okay, look what you've created your child. They know they're trying to get around it.
Here's the thing: when you guys were really the first generation to have cell phones, we did not have cell phones, and I was a mom blogger at the very beginning of when blogging started happening and digital world was really sort of coming alive, and what were the implications of it. But I wasn't sure what she was taking in from the outside world. And so every now and then,
I feel like that's fair, honestly. Choosing elementary school, that makes more sense.
I also stepped to this line because there was another thing that I think she was getting at just with the blogging is there's still a lot, when you Google my name, there's still a lot of information about me as a child online, which...
What kind of information?
Just articles that she wrote, which is fine, but it's now when you Google my name and I'm 24, There's LA Times articles about me.
What,
And
like,
everything.
Is it not good information?
Awkward?
Like what?
One of them was not great. It was basically saying that I was a bitch when I was
bitch?
when I was very young.
I feel like context is really missing for most.
They're using this opportunity to just air stuff out.
Therapy right now.
My writing was about my perspective on parenting and sharing that experience. And it was a really hard push and pull because it was my livelihood and it was also their lives. And at some point, you guys were, I probably want to say, by the time you reached middle school, I stopped doing it because I felt like the stories were no longer mine to tell. Like when they were younger and they're talking about a story about how all the balls are getting thrown up into the tree and I end up keep buying new basketballs and they're like stories like that. And there were also stories about, I at that time was dating my now husband. We've been together for almost 18 years, my second husband. And so it was a lot of conversation about what it's like to be dating as a mom and how are my kids dealing with this person
need
in
to
my
talk.
life. Yeah,
Yeah, you and I need
exactly.
to talk after.
And but there was also when she was really little, I was dealing with a lot of different things. You had some occupational therapy and you had physical therapy and it was a lot. It was a lot for me and I needed the outlet for it. So one story, she has this little sister. Her sister followed her around everywhere, loved her, loved her, loved her. And Izzy didn't want anything to do with her. And it broke my heart because I'm a little sister. But I wrote a story called My Daughter's a Bitch and It's Not My Fault.
Oh, there is. Okay.
She titled it that though.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was
a long time ago.
It's online forever. For her to title it "My Daughter's a Bitch," you can find that article online if you know her name. My daughter's a bitch, and this is her name.
I thought the mom was cooking this whole time.
Until that last part.
And then I can understand the artistic, you trying to get a catchy headline. But yeah, if her name is associated with it and you can actively Google
Yeah, that
her,
is crazy.
And the first thing that pops up is my daughter's a bitch and it's this girl, I can see how the daughter's upset about it.
And that's forever. Middle school you till now.
And I can understand the mom's perspective being a blogger and she's trying to do it.
She's trying to find the next, same way she's trying to get more views, she's trying to get more attention.
I'm glad they're airing it out here though. Maybe the daughter can have some empathy for the situation. Maybe the mother can apologize and be like, I was wrong.
She could have used some metaphors or something else, but my daughter's a bitch.
She's fucking 9-year-old bitch.
Damn bitch. And it's not my fault. And then you just wake up going to school. Fuck.
Little 9-year-old daughter. Fucking bitch. Publish.
It's the worst thing I ever wrote, but it also, if you read it, I was really good at clickbait titles. So just know that that was the title. But it was really about understanding and sympathizing a younger sister's view. And the final thing of my story was Izzy was beginning to come around and that I noticed at the end of one night, like you still weren't smiling. And so the end of it was, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make her smile. And,
But it blew
And-
up.
No, it's just something that comes up when you Google my
I
name.
see.
You might be able to find it.
Who's Googling?
But who's Googling your name?
Izzy, who's Googling you?
Do you have that much motion?
You don't got motion like that, Izzy. Is that what you're really concerned about? Who's Googling you?
Even if you know somebody's full thing, you don't really look them up on Google.
Like, if you guys really typed your parents in on Google to just check?
No.
And I wouldn't care about an article written 15 years ago. Better title would have been My Older Sister's a Bitch. In the eyes of the younger sister, you tell the story. But she went straight for her daughter's neck. She's a bitch.
Bitch. 9-year-old little bitch. Have you ever met a 9-year-old bitch?
No, first one. First 9-year-old bitch I met. I mean, her mom said it, not me.
We catch her in public.
That bitch.
You're that bitch from the article.
Are you a 24-year-old bitch now? Or
Wait a
what?
minute, you're that bitch, right? You got the article, right? 9 years old.
Your mom wrote it.
The 9-year-old bitch, right?
And that was so different. Like, I don't blame her at all. Obviously, our relationship is much better now. My relationship with my sister is much better. I mean, I was 9.
That's normal, like, sibling behavior, though.
It still follows you around, like you're
Yeah, because-
applying for jobs, you're doing things. And
Hey, we can't hire her. She was a bitch when she was 9.
To be fair, what if she really was a bitch, though?
And she probably was.
Otherwise, why would the mom say that? Because the mom, honestly, to me, seems pretty truthful. And she was doing these blog posts from like a real place, trying to help people. I met some insufferable kids.
Yeah, I guess why can't she just come to the fact that she was a bitch at one point in her life?
I remember, I think I was in 9th or 10th grade, and I was volunteering at this place, and there was a kid there, maybe 9 or 10. I was probably 15. He was a little boy. He came up to me. He said, "Are you a boy or a girl?" I was like,
Damn.
I was like, "You little bitch." Just kidding. I did that. That still sticks with me. I was 15 at the time. I was like, "What about me?"
What were you wearing that day?
Oh, fucking t-shirt and shorts. Some kids aren't a vibe.
Like, even now more than ever, I feel like.
I'd be like, "You're annoying as fuck."
Yeah.
Kids running around and shit at Target and shit. I'm like, behave yourself.
there are times I needed you, but didn't want to bother you. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and turn around.
My mom is recently in therapy. Can I share that?
Too late.
Don't say that publicly.
My mom needs help.
I am also in therapy, and I think for years, like once I started learning about myself, I started to see the signs in my mom that like something wasn't right. Just growing up, just something was a little off.
Was deeply wrong with her. She was a bitch.
I just knew like there was something, and I wanted her to go so badly to figure that out. But until she went, I think she didn't know who to turn to. She didn't want to put that on her kids, so we didn't understand where it was coming from. We just experienced the brunt of it, and it was confusing. But she has told us time and time again she doesn't want to bother us.
The brunt of it.
Take it away, Mom.
We didn't handle conflict well. We were a little explosive growing up, and we're all getting better. We've all worked on it. It was loud. When we were angry, we got loud. Like
You beat me.
And yeah, I've worked on it. She's worked on it. But it was just like, okay, this is coming from somewhere, but no one really knew where. And it was confusing.
Is that what you were standing on yes for?
Oh yeah. And I still don't share a lot. But since she talked me into going to therapy, it's been awesome to talk to someone that's completely unattached. And because in the Black culture, and I'm speaking generally, I don't know if everybody does it, but most Black families have a strong pecking order. And who's at the top, you don't mess with them. You don't talk about them. You don't call them names behind their backs. You don't talk about your mom to your best friend. You don't say that stuff. And you certainly don't talk to your children about your parents.
You have a bad habit that worries me. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead and turn around.
Yikes.
The mothers are like, yep, got some bad habits. Okay, but let's start with the one daughter that is on yes.
I think you get really into diet culture, and it's good most of the time. I mean, you're super healthy, super fit, but sometimes I worry that it's, not as good on your own, like, body positivity.
Well, even though I would love to get on Ozempic, you are correct.
Don't get on that shit.
All right. Heather, you moved to yes, by the way. Yeah, she does have
When I heard diet culture, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What? No, I mean, I get on you about this. I feel like we just talk about bodies too much and like what's wrong here and all that. And I would like you just to love yourself now, not when something changes.
You have defined the way I see.
Oh, they cut that? They cut all that out.
Right? Like I wanted to hear.
Oh, they cut everything out.
I knew that was going to be good. I knew that one was going to be good. And maybe they were getting looks while it was happening, the director, and they said, make a note.
The story about the mom writing a story about her daughter and calling her the B word made me so emotional. The mom should be ashamed of herself, and it's nothing to laugh about. I'm so glad the other mom asked if the daughter was okay.
Yeah, that's been affecting the daughter, you can tell.
No one's asking if she really was a bitch, though.
No, really, though.
Was she a
That
bitch,
could be
though?
valid. If it was an actual
Before you
article,
ask her, are you doing okay? But was she a bitch?
it got published. It had to have been true.
There had to have been some emotion typing that whole thing. Like,
Right.
He read the first draft, second draft. She's like, nah, she really is this.
They don't post fake articles.
If it was misinformation and she's been framed as a bitch, then let's get the facts out. If the kid wasn't a vibe, then it wasn't a fucking vibe. Hearing that mom say she put privacy blockers on all her kids' computers, phones, everything is absolutely crazy. The mom that called the daughter a bitch online for people to see is absolutely awful. It's still online with her real name.
Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking with that one.
I mean, have we read the article?
kind of want to read
I
it.
haven't read it yet.
Well, the one girl, y'all remember Jeanette McCurdy?
Oh, yeah, she came out about her mom. She was so happy once her mom passed away.
She said,
Air out
my
all of
mom's
that stuff.
dead, and I'm so happy my mom's dead. Mom can't even defend herself. You gotta read the book. My 9-year-old's a bitch. It's art. That is such a funny statement to me. Because when you hear the term bitch, you think of a woman.
Yeah. You don't think of a child.
Your own daughter, your own blood.
Yeah, that's not even like this child was a bitch.
And she took time to write it.
And could she take it down? Surely
I would
you
say you
can.
can take it down.
You can delete that. If
You
she
got it
published
up.
You can delete
You got it up.
Who published it? Hit up the publisher.
Everyone's obviously cooking the mom who wrote the bitch article. But at the same time, she did that at the time. She wouldn't do it now. People make mistakes, bruh.
Yeah, she said she wouldn't. She regrets it.
I show grace. People cannot be perfect all the time if they live 80 years, they're going to fuck up.
Even if they're your parent.
Yeah, like if my mom did that, I would just laugh about it. You know, I would think, okay, she was trying to be a writer or trying to put stuff out, and hey, she got an article that got published. Good for her. I was the subject of it, whatever. I was able to help her out.
You can't hold someone, all right, 10 years ago they did something. Now, granted, there's certain severities of things that maybe you can't come back from. Like a murder.
Or your dad beat the shit out of your mom. It's like, okay, I'm still mad at you.
Oh, yeah. But there are some things where maybe you can give someone grace or forgive them.
Especially if that person even themselves apologize multiple times and try to see it from your side.
You can still not like it and be upset about it, but hey, you know, maybe talk it out.
And I'm not gonna make my mom feel bad on this show like that. I'm not gonna air her out like with stuff like that. Some of the stuff they were saying, I'm
Publicly. Well, that's why the one they cut out everything.
like, they cut it out.
Daughter,
Damn, I didn't even see that uncut version.
Don't be a bitch.